This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so today is June 23rd, Tuesday, and as always, everything that we're going to be talking about today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. All right, so we got a little bit of a slow morning going on out there, and before we get into BRN, because that's kind of making its move already, let's talk about AAL for a second. So there's a reason I'm not going to be putting AAL on our list today, okay? This is not going to be an easy stock for someone to read that's at a lower level. I want to put that out there right this second. You are going to get so many different types of prints at the same exact level. This is a way more of an advanced stock. You're talking about already traded 23 million shares. Okay, and it's just after 9 o'clock. So keep that in mind. If you are at a level basically from 5 to 1 to 5, this isn't really something that you should be looking at. Okay, pick an airline that has some less, a lot, well, not some less, but a lot less volume coming into it, because like I said, this is not going to be an easy read. Now there might be spots where it does get a little bit easier, but it's going to be very hard. So obviously AAL, we just saw that we had a huge amount of ask prints that came in right underneath here. Really looked like it would have been stupid to cover there. So overall, looks like we could make a nice little recovery back towards that upside. But if you look right here, okay, the one cool thing about the range indicator is that it shows you what yesterday's range was before the market opens. Okay, you're talking about 80 cents. And when you look at the volume from yesterday, it was iffy. So obviously, based off of what we're seeing today, we're going to be expecting a lot larger range coming into it, and we are, like I said, we're getting a lot of ask prints. But just remember, this is not going to be an easy stock for a lot of people to be able to try to read. If you're just beginning to tape read, don't even put it up on your screen. Number one, it might freeze it, and then number two, it's just going to be way too hard. So let's talk about some things that are going to be a little bit easier. TBIO. So this one thing we can see is it's not hard to borrow, so we're able to go both ways with it. The only thing is if we take a look at the print so far this morning, we didn't really get anything that jumps out at us yet. Okay, we have 803,000 shares. On average, it trades $1.36. So we know that we're going to be expecting a lot more than that, because on average, it literally trades, underneath, we're talking about 670,000 shares. So there's a lot more going into it today than we normally would see. Okay, but remember, print personality is going to be thin. So a few prints are going to go a long way, but we need that definitive show of hand to come into it, even though it's not really, the volume's not as consistent. Okay, this number can be a little bit deceiving sometimes. It says 805,000 shares, but if you look, it's not that consistent, because look at time it sales. You get some prints here, then it stops. Get some prints here, then it stops. But even it's the fact that it's trading smoothly during a kind of a phase like that definitely tells us that we should get some nice smooth trading coming out of it. We're just going to need some type of definitive show of hand to come into it. INO. So if we all remember, we had some nice ask prints that were at that 15 level. And obviously they are making money right now, but we're pushing up. This is another one where it's okay. Okay, I really like this position before at 1730, but I don't see anything in there that really jumps out to me, to be completely honest with you. It's another one where that's kind of what we've been seeing this morning, is just some nice movement coming into things, but I just don't see anything that really tells me exactly what it needs to do yet. Based off of the volume jumping up, there's not even enough variables to go into it. So another one where we're going to need a show of hand, but we know for a fact that this is going to be, more than average trade coming into today. It just needs to give us that show. Next thing looking at is Plug. So PLUG, we can see made a nice little move coming into here into the morning. But then afterwards, we got some nice prints that came in at that 6 level that never really pulled back from. So 5 cents, that's not a terrible pullback, especially with this, but I want to see at least 10 cents, and especially having that 589 print line sitting right underneath it, I really would like to see it pull back there before we would expect it to go back towards those highs. But like I said, there's definitely some nice buying that came in at that 6. A little bit overwards, but it was kind of parabolic, so it's kind of harder to get those clean prints. And that's really the theme that I've seen out there this morning, is I'm not really getting any type of real great show of hands, besides obviously AAL, which is trading 23 million shares. That's enough, more shares than most stocks trade within an entire day, and it's not even the open of the market yet. All right, then BRN, another one that I kind of like, and the reason that I kind of like it is because if you look, most of what we've seen coming into it actually is buying. All right, and as we're coming back up, you can see some nice positions, some nice bursts coming into those 170s, but based off the 150 prints that we had before, I would not be shocked to see this thing come back down first. But overall, as long as we can get some just consistent burst of new buying coming into this. We should have no problem getting up to this resistance point sitting there at 2. But it is, based off the volume that we saw, you can see this didn't move up on nothing. All right, it moved up on some really nice volume, so it does have some substance within it. Now, obviously, a sideless stock just based off of the fact that it didn't give us anything great at 150, and 160. That's just not going to do it. Okay, well, those off-level prints aren't going to be giving us a show of hand for us to make our first trade of the morning with. So something that we'll be looking at, but overall, like I said, my theme this morning, though the theme that the market has shown this morning, it's just not that many show of hands yet, which means we should have a real interesting open, because there's a lot of trading that's going to have to happen. All right, guys, now anything else out there that I missed? Anything else out there? So I was looking at that before. We'll bring that up. So the puzzle itself, yes, okay, makes absolutely no sense. Yesterday, 52 million shares with $1.58. So, it broke range, but not by much at all. The only thing is just that right now I don't see any interest. Okay, we have been getting some decent buying prints, and for the most part, the bigger prints have been buying, but it's just, I'm going to put it on our list just because we have a short list, but on a day that we didn't, I wouldn't be following this very well, very closely, because typically if we're going to have a big morning, we have to remember this. If we're going to have a big morning, we're going to see interest in it before the morning starts. And I just haven't seen anything that really jumps out at me, which is a little bit, but that, like I said, that's kind of what we've been seeing everywhere this morning. BYFC, I pointed out this morning, yes, it does have that buying at that 3 level. It died immediately afterwards, so I kind of lost interest in it. But I'll put it on our side list because it does have that. It does have that there. But remember, okay, these stocks typically, especially even in the pre-market, it usually move at about 10 cents to 20 cents. If they, with a big range, 5 cents to 10 cents on kind of the quantity type stocks. So overall, they could have made their money already. I didn't really see anybody get out, but it definitely went from something I was watching closely to try to make a pre-market trade in to something that I'm not even sure if I'll look at for the rest of the day. And then SQ. So SQ, yeah, I like it. The only thing is that's not really doing any trading. 183,000 shares, but these are definitely nice prints for its print personality based off of it not really having anything going on. It's just been almost all selling. So I'll throw this one on our list. We'll make our list a little bit fatter, but remember, right now we don't really have anything that's that great. Yeah, KGOV was #1 on the list earlier. The only problem here, Nitesh, and I say this all the time, is that if the market opens and we really get any type of movement in it, we're going to get halted. So that's the only reason I don't have it on my list. Definitely, you guys, more advanced traders, do what you do. But overall, I'm not going to talk about it just because for us to really make money on it, it's going to need to move. And if it moves, more than likely, we're going to get halted very quickly. All right, that's something I know a lot of people, we forget about sometimes because we're just looking at it. But, first thing in the morning, we don't want to end up getting halted in our stock because, if we're only trading 1 or 2 stocks, it really kind of hinders our ability to take advantage of the earlier moves that are coming into things. Something else you might want to just keep on your list from yesterday as well is SHLL. We know that there was a ton of buying coming into it. We just had a little buying at 19. It's nothing special yet, but, it's usually typically what we see. It starts off its morning in this kind of like crappy consolidation and really just a building phase, and then it ends up making moves. So just something to think about. That's what we've been seeing, consistently like that. All right, guys, anything else out there that I missed? Anything else out there? Apple. So Apple's an everyday stock. I don't typically talk about those because I'm not going to be trading them. Remember, Cliff Notes. So yeah, beautiful bid prints there at 346, but the easier, as a tape reader, the better stocks, in my opinion, are the stocks that don't have a textbook story. They have a short story, the Cliff Notes. They just started today because now we know everything about what's happening. Apple's story is so long, it would take a library to put its, to fill up the books with everything that's went on with it, because these prints right here might just be saying that, somebody's getting out of a position because it was huge at there. It's very, very hard to really. Well, it's not hard whatsoever because you could just go based off these prints at all, but it's just going to have a lot more going on in it. And remember, if you make 50 cents on an easy stock or 50 cents on a hard stock, still 50 cents doesn't change anything. Plus, it's very expensive. It's $364. All right, guys, let's get ready for our an unfiltered version in the chat. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go answer that. I just saw that in the corner of my eye, but I'll answer that once we start getting. Okay, yeah. All right, guys. So I'll talk to everybody in the chat. Traders Exchange at 12:30, and happy trading.